OG set too. Where does he get the money to buy all this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you jelly,
That's
man?
all. No, I'm not jelly. That's
Is
a lot
there a
of farming.
gnome cartel that we don't know about?
I don't know. Rositajonez does have amazing transmogs though. I don't even know how you get that staff anymore. Maybe only the black market auction
I
house,
actually found out. I bought it in the auction house like 2 days ago.
Oh, really? I thought you couldn't get it
buy it in
anymore.
the auction house. There's like some green. I can't remember what it's called. I can tell you if I log up my Druid.
Oh, there's like an equivalent?
There's a green that looks just like it now.
I feel you. Alright, here we go. Holy Pally God Comp versus Boomkin Mage. Holy Pally. It's the rematch. Best of 5 series. Oh, man.
Yeah, both mages just trading off early frost bullets. Mage and getting polyed up. Elite into the deep freeze. Unfortunately, not able to get the poly. Rosita gets cloned. Elite gets polyed. Rosita trinkets. Hodge onto Asbur though. He's gonna barkskin all of this opening pressure as Versace did get polyed. A solar beam defensively on Rosita as well is gonna give him the time he needs to get a cyclone out onto Elite. Khryl getting pressured. He's pushed up very far right now. Elite's trying to get back to him with that Avenging Wrath. He's going to be able to top him off. Now Asbur caught into a fear. He has no barkskin. Half poly on Versace. Asbur gets caught in the center of the map. And this is the situation that the God Comp is looking for. Saved by the Light's going to proc. Avenging Wrath, Execution Sense. Going to be able to top off Asbur. Now the cross CC back onto the Mage's Mog is fabulous. Deep freeze onto Elite. The ring lands. Khryl not going for a massive spell. He did get locked out earlier. Now he's into the Hodge. Asbur trying to turn the pressure around onto Khryl.
Yeah, and Khryl sat that full Hodge there. He still has his Trinket and Disperse available. I mean, despite Khryl being pressured in the opener, Elite and Khryl still have everything available to them to survive. Asbur getting pressured. He has no Barskin for another 10 seconds. He also has his Trinket, and Versace still has everything out. He's just deciding to use that bubble to try to top off Asbur, who still doesn't have that Barskin up. He's getting chunked down by Rosita and Khryl. The full clone coming out from Asbur onto Khryl. Khryl decides to trinket that offensively. They want to get the pressure rolling on Asbur, who's down to 14% HP. Pops the skin as soon as it comes up. He's in bear form, trying to escape. The beam coming out onto Rositajonez. Rositajonez taking a lot of pressure, but Asbur is going to explode. And that game looked a lot better.
They found it. They did it. Yeah. They finally came into it and did it. And it's kind of how I expected him to go down, but they figured it out. They lost 0-2, but they found the way to do it. Asbur's going to go down in game 1. It is a best of 5, so let's see if they can find some way to deal with this pressure.
Alright, let's see if we can find it. Now, that being said, this is a best of 5, and also, Supatease's fan club does have another composition to bring to the table. They could mirror this out, man. They could. I don't know if they will, but they could.
I don't know if the second game is as one-sided as the first. They might end up having to throw out a mirror and see if they can do that. But, I mean, if we look at it, they're still up 2-1 as that comp. Maybe that was just a bad game for them.
Right, absolutely. Alright, so the map chosen by Supatease's fan club is going to be on Tolvaron Arena. Here we go. Jumping right into it. One of the teams isn't taking the queue for some reason. Might be changing the comp up or something, I'm not sure. Here we go. Alright everybody, here we are. Supatease's fan club going up against Mage. Our Mage's Mog is fabulous. And it's a Holy Pally God Comp versus a Mage Boomkin Holy Pally. They're not going for the mirror this time. They're sticking with this composition. So, like you said, Ven, I mean, they have beaten them with this composition before, but I don't know. That was kind of convincing. Maybe this Holy Pally God Comp figured out their main strat to be able to take down this team. We're going to find out here in just 25 seconds.
Kill the Moonkin.
Kill the Moonkin.
We found out that's what happened for the RMD too. As soon as they started sitting on Asbur, it became really hard for him to really do anything. Just forced him to bear form so much of the game. Can't get any of his offensive clones rolling, which is a huge part of their CC chain, or just clones in general.
I think there's 2 ways Asbur can react in the opener. You can trinket and Displacer Beast and run away and save his skin. I think that's the best choice. That game he tried to Barkskin and stand and tank the damage, but with trinket procs rolling and everything else, you really just can't tank the damage. You're going to end up having to overuse your cooldown, so it's going to be how he reacts. And he's playing very far back this game, just dotting up the Water Elemental, trying to take it down and get some early Star Search procs off of it as well. But Elite's not going to let that Water Elemental go down easy.
Yeah, and he's used 2 of his opening Star Surges there, now into the full disarm. Versace caught into the Polymorph, and they're going to just open up onto Asbur again. He does pop that bar skin immediately, the beam coming out onto Rositajonez, trying to just prevent a little bit of damage, but he's just taking infinity damage right now, and Versace's still not out of CC. The Frost Jaw coming out onto him. Save by the Light is already procced. He could die. Versace popping those wings, going to be able to hopefully top him off. They're trying to turn it around onto Khryl. The Save by the Light did proc onto him. Elite now caught into a polymorph cyclone, pardon me. And looks like Khryl and Asbur have both stabilized, but both teams coming out of the gate strong.
Yeah, Versace's in the deep. Asbur into the Horrify. He's going to trinket that Stampeding Roar to kite away. Versace trying to sit in the poly. Ice Nova connects onto him. Elite's pushing up to Hodge him at 30%. Shadow Fiend comes in. He's in double death range. Versace bubbles. Is it enough to keep him alive, though? 20% HP. Deep poly coming onto Elite. Khryl gets cloned, but Devouring Plague comes in, and Asbur is just going to go down. Khryl and Rosita just owning him this series. It's almost like they were faking when they lost previously.
What? You think that these are mind games? Hello? I don't know. I don't know about that one. But here we go. It is now 2-0 in favor of our Mage's transmog. It's fabulous. I feel like the mirror's coming, boys. I don't think they're going to do this again.
Yeah, that was another one-sided game. They weren't really able to force anything from Khryl except Save by the Light. I don't even think Elite uses Trinket or Bubble. And Asbur just forced so defensively, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to throw in a mirror.
That being said, even though that they're going to be going a mirror, same composition versus same composition, they have to win 3 times in a row to be able to go to the finals. Mageiden is now choosing Blade's Edge Arena, and I don't know if they change compositions.
I think you're going to stick with Asbur.
Really?
Blade's Edge is a bit easier for the Boomkin to live. He can jump down below and play very scared, but we had the discussion, I think, multiple times where if Asbur jumps down, then they can just swap to somebody, but Mageiden as well as Versace are pretty tanky targets to this kind of damage, so I don't think they'll be able to punish that as hard, and Asbur's going to be really mobile. He's just going to have to take advantage of it.
So instead of going for that mirror, they are sticking with Asbur, like you said, bringing it to Blade's Edge Arena, giving Asbur a different map to survive on. But Supatease, if you were in this team's position, would you sub yourself out here, or would you go for it?
I don't know. Maybe they don't feel confident in CMG. I mean, they were kind of getting smashed by the RMD, so maybe they're just not feeling the synergy right now. And obviously they did beat this team 2-0, so they want to play the Mage Moonkin into it to try and dominate them again, but Rosita and Khryl are just not having any of it, and Asper's falling really far behind every game. I think this is probably the best map. I feel maybe they should have gone to it before Tolvaron, and as long as Asbur is really mobile, constantly defensive, and I mean the entire time, like at all points in the game running away, he can easily drag the game out.
We'll have to see what he does, though. He's going to start the game in stealth, sitting back. At the moment, Rosita just going to run out and start spamming out those Frost Bolts. 4 Icicles. Mageiden also running in, spamming out those Spell Steals. I think Elite actually got polyed there, and Khryl was able to MD it. And it looks like they're going to immediately open up onto Asbur, who has to pop that bar skin immediately. The Hodge coming out onto him. Versace caught into that polymorph. It does break to an Ice Nova, but the full fear coming out from Khryl onto him. The Save by the Light coming out once again, and this looks like a repeat of the last 2 games. The defensive beam coming out onto Rositajonez into a Cyclone by Asbur, trying to just stabilize so they can get something rolling. He's trying to get a little bit of damage onto Khryl right now. Elite caught into the full Cyclone, but Asbur's still just the target of choice, getting slain.
Yeah, and Asbur's still in trouble. Poly onto Versace. He's going to jump down below, Displacer Beast to the center of the map. He's playing Cenarian Ward, so it's going to give him more burst healing. He might be even trying to look for a re-stealth. The Shadow Fiend's going to keep him in combat, though. He's still line of sighting again, playing perfectly defensively, but he's going to get hodged, and Kryl's going to catch up as well as Rosita, putting the pressure on into the Horrify. Now that Cenarian Ward, though, paying its weight in gold, healing through all of that burst, but a fear onto Versace nonetheless. Asbur going for the defensive clone, going to land onto Rosita. He's going to block out of it to go for a poly onto Versace. Asbur's in trouble. He's not running away. He's choosing to make a final stand here at 19% HP. Clones coming out onto Khryl, Polys onto Elite. Asbur's going to recover. That last stand is going to be survived by Asbur. He's still going for clones. He does get locked out. He's jumping down below. He has the Nature's Vigil for a few more seconds to get some extra healing. He's pressuring Khryl fairly hard right now. Elite's going to get polyed for 1 second. The CC finally ending onto him. Asbur forced into bear form, trying to run away from here, and Khryl actually tried to grip the root beam, but it unfortunately gripped into the root. Asbur's trying to line of sight down below, and this is the position that he needs to be in to survive.
There's the full fear, though, onto Versace, as well as the the Hodge, pardon me. Asbur still just dipping immediately, displacing, getting as far away as possible, keeping that rejuve on himself. He's just going to kite out while that CC is up onto Versace, and he's going to try to turn it around onto Khryl. Versace finally reconnecting onto Asbur. They are together now. And Asper's going to be safe for the moment. Elite caught into the full polymorph, the bash coming out on Rosita. Khryl into the Hodge, the triple CC coming out. DR poly onto Elite. Khryl taking a lot of damage, down to 30% HP. Could be in trouble. Elite popping those wings. He is going to get out of the full polymorph now. He does have wings up, so he might be able to top off Khryl. Meanwhile, Asper taking so much damage, down to 25% HP. Versace having to bubble. Huge execution sentence onto Asper. That was the bar skin as well. So now they're in a position where Asper has no bar skin, no trinket, and Versace only has his trinket available.
Yeah, Asbur keeps trying to go toe-to-toe, and he keeps coming out behind. He's got to use his mobility to his advantage. He does lock out the poly by Rosita. He's pressuring Khryl. Elite into the half poly. Avenging Wrath is going to be fading. He's going to displace her beast away behind the pillars. Versace gets deep tier, potentially into the full poly as well. The Cenarian ward being used. He's spamming the healing touches here, trying to fake the counterspell. He didn't manage to fake it. He's going to get horrified. He jumped down below. Commissar comes in. It might be the end for him. He's silenced and hodged over top. A bit of an overlap there by the God Copy. Shadow melts. He's trying to dodge some damage. Goes for the defensive cyclone on Rosita. He's going to land it. Versace in the fear, though. Asper still completely alone, just flailing around, trying to cling to life. Krill's going to trinket the clone and try and finish the job. 15% HP remaining. He does bash Khryl before the Shadow Word deaths, but Versace's just not leaving CC, and Asper left in the cold on a rainy day. Going to be going home alone.
He just couldn't do anything. Yeah, they just couldn't get anything rolling those 3 games. He was just forced into bear form like half the game.
Alright, there it is. 3-0 from Mage's Mog is fabulous, and that means they are going to the finals. Up next, we have the finals. Unafraid is the worst versus